Good morning. I'm Brian Stelter, and it's time for Reliable Sources. This morning, we're covering two big stories. The baffling mystery that has obsessed so many of us this week. What in the hell happened to Malaysia Air Flight 370? And Decision Day in Crimea, where tensions are rising as people vote on whether or not to return to Russia. But up first, one of the finest aviation journalists ever, speaking for the first time on what he thinks about this missing plane. Bob Hager spent decades covering these kinds of baffling mysteries for NBC News. The TWA Flight 800 case, Pan Am 103, he saw them all, saw every detail, and he knows firsthand how obsessed reporters can get as they struggle to figure out seemingly unsolvable tragedies. Bob, thank you for joining me.
Yeah, sure enough. Glad to be with you.
You've been traveling this week, so we haven't seen you on television the way people are used to seeing you during previous plane mysteries like this one. From everything you've seen, from everything you've heard, what do you think happened?
Can't tell so much. There's such a paucity of information. I'm going to agree with authorities based on what we know so far that it sure looks like something deliberate in the cockpit, deranged member of the crew, deranged pilot, just going off unreasonably, flying on and on, or a deranged passenger coming forward and forcing the crew in the cockpit to do this, cutting the communications. But that's all theory, you know. I mean, we're operating without a whole lot of information on this. Could still be some mechanical problem where the plane decompressed and everybody died on the plane and it just goes on flying, although it goes up and down, turns and things like that, which you wouldn't think of with a decompression. But anyway, you can't say for sure. I got to go so far with a deranged passenger or hijacking or murder, suicide, something like that.
Of course, here I am, asking you to speculate, as we've seen on television so much this week. Is that just part of what aviation reporting is? Speculation?
Yeah, I think in the absence of information, you got two things working. Investigators are trained to leave open every single possibility and only rule out one thing at a time to try to narrow in on the cause. Reporters, meanwhile, reflecting the appetite of viewers and of readers and so forth, are anxious to try to give the public some information to work off or even some theories or speculation. And I think in this case, speculation is okay, it's natural, as long as it's labeled that way. Because none of us really knows. I mean, we're really operating without any strong facts. And by the way, forensic investigation is the very best in these kinds of things. I mean, you need black boxes or you need some pieces of wreckage. That's what you really need to get at what must have gone on here.
What kind of sources would you be calling on a story like this? Are the United States investigators that are assisting the Malaysian officials really tight-lipped usually? Are they hard to get to, or would they secretly be helping reporters out in a case like this?
Well, technically it's a Malaysian investigation, so the U.S. people who are involved are very reluctant to be public. However, they are the best informed in the business probably. So you've got out there people from the FAA, the Federal Aviation Administration, people from the National Transportation Safety Board, people from Boeing, the manufacturer of the 777, very knowledgeable people. And they're apt to be in touch with their counterparts in the investigation from the Malaysian Transportation Ministry. So they're going to learn little things. And yeah, the reporters who've worked the beat for quite a while and experienced reporters have a relationship with these people. They've seen them on other crashes and dealt with them. So, you know, if I were out there, and I'd want to be out there near the scene and work in the hotel corridors somewhere near that investigation, wherever investigators are, or their American counterparts, more important, and trying to be learning things off the record. The U.S. people would be reluctant to be on the record. And I think there's a little information to be gotten off the record, too, from the American Pentagon, is my hunch.
So in this case, that's real shoe leather reporting. In the hotel corridors, maybe at the hotel bar, too?
Well, you know, bar is difficult for a television reporter because nowadays the satellite reporting and 24/7 cable operations eat you up. So you don't have time. I used to be jealous of my newspaper counterparts because I couldn't go to the bar where you would get some investigators relaxing, and there's occasionally some information to be picked up there. But when you gotta be on the tube, you know, every 15 minutes or something, when you're the reporter on the scene, you've got no time to go to the bar. But you do hope to get off the record information information from people that you know really well, and if you're rubbing elbows with them at the hotel, you're going to bump into them in the hallway, or sometimes they're organized off-the-record briefings, so every little bit of a scrap of information helps because they're learning things from the foreign people. By the way, very difficult to operate in a foreign country. I remember when a supersonic airliner crashed in Paris, and I'm trying to get information from the French officials of the transportation ministry. Really hard when you're operating in a foreign language to develop a kind of a buddy relationship with them like you can with the Americans from, as I say, the government agencies or the company Boeing, etc.
I'd like to hear about some of the other plane crashes and disappearances that you've covered over the years. Let me play a clip from NBC Nightly News when Pan Am 103 exploded over Lockerbie, Scotland.
Most accidents happen on takeoff or landing, and here we have one that happened, as you said, at 31,000 feet. That's near cruising altitude. So that, to start, makes it very unusual. Furthermore, as Pan American says, there was no communication from the pilots ahead of time. That indicates that whatever happened must have happened very suddenly. And there are reports that pilots in the area saw the plane in flames in the night sky as it was on its way down. So that would indicate an explosion of some kind in flight.
What's striking to me about that clip is that viewers and investigators knew a lot more early on about that plane crash than they do in this case, whether it crashed or not. So is there a past disappearance of a flight, a past plane mystery that this one reminds you of in any way?
Well, I think the most recent mystery has been 5 years ago. The disappearance of the Air France flight that left Rio, was flying to Paris and disappeared over the Atlantic. And they couldn't find the wreckage of that for a long time either. They found a little bit a few days later, a few bodies and some small pieces of wreckage. But really, 2 years went by before they found the black boxes from that crash. And until they found those black boxes, so that's informative, until they found the black boxes, it was all theory. When they found the black boxes, they reaffirmed some original information that the flight systems were operating incorrectly, giving an incorrect airspeed indication. But more important, they found out that the crew may have mishandled the plane based on what information they had. Only to say that these things can take a lot of time, and eventually you got to have some hard evidence before you really can come up with a conclusive finding on what went wrong.
And do you think there's such a thing as too much of this coverage? Are you critical of channels like CNN that go wall to wall on a story like this?
Well, I think not. I think they're responding to the hunger for the viewing public for information about what went on. So in this day of 24/7 coverage, I can't blame people for putting the spotlight on this because it is very much in the public mind. It's clear that people are very interested in this and somewhat apprehensive after it, understandably. So I don't blame out news organizations for doing all they can, even although the facts are not very liberally available at the moment.
Well, Bob Hager, a Dean of Aviation Reporting, thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us today.
Surely, Brian. Thank you very much for having me.